Hey Raiders Nation! Welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving deep into the mind of our star defensive end, Maxx Crosby. You know him for his incredible plays on the field, but recently, he opened up on his podcast, The Rush with Maxx Crosby, and he had a lot to say about those pesky trade rumors, his passion for the Raiders, and a whole lot more. So, grab your favorite snack, get comfy, and let's jump into it. Maxx Crosby has been the heartbeat of the Raiders' defense since he stepped into the league. With 6 years under his belt, he's not just another player, he's a cornerstone of the team. But recently, the buzz around him getting traded, especially to the Detroit Lions, has got everyone talking. In his latest podcast episode, he didn't hold back. Crosby, who has been with the Raiders for his entire 6-year career, is off to another strong season, with 6.5 sacks and 23 tackles through 7 games. Despite his personal success, the Raiders have struggled, sitting at 2-5. Crosby remains committed to the team, making it clear that he wants to continue playing in Las Vegas. Crosby emphatically stated that he has no desire to leave the Raiders, despite understanding the business side of the NFL. He expressed frustration over the rumors, which linked him to the Detroit Lions after they lost pass rusher Aiden Hutchinson to a season-ending injury. According to resources, while the Lions are seeking defensive help, acquiring Crosby is unlikely, which is welcome news for both the Raiders and their star defender. In the recent episode of The Rush with Maxx Crosby, Crosby and his CO hosts, Broen Roback and Darian Terrell, kick things off with a shout-out to their alma mater, Eastern Michigan University. Crosby made it crystal clear that he's not going anywhere. He's got no desire to leave Las Vegas. He gets it. This is the NFL, and there's always a business side to things. But when it comes to his commitment to the Raiders, that's non-negotiable. He expressed frustration over the speculation, especially since it picked up steam after the Lions lost Aiden Hutchinson to a season-ending injury. Crosby was like, "Why would I want to leave my home?" And honestly, can you blame him? Crosby has been lighting it up this season, already racking up 6.5 sacks and 23 tackles in just 7 games. Even though the Raiders are struggling at 2-5, he's still out there giving it his all, proving he's not just a stat line, but a real leader on this team. Now, let's get into those rumors. According to ESPN's Adam Schefter, while the Lions are definitely on the hunt for defensive talent, landing Crosby is more of a long shot than a sure thing. That's got to feel good for both the Raiders and Crosby himself. He can focus on what he does best, playing ball. Crosby also took a moment in the podcast to shout out his alma mater, Eastern Michigan University. Can you believe they had an epic comeback against Central Michigan? Down 18 points with just 11 minutes left. Now that's the kind of drama we live for. Crosby couldn't contain his excitement about the energy at Crosby Field, highlighting how Eastern Michigan has a talent for winning those nail-biters. You could hear the pride in his voice, reminiscing about how it felt to be a part of that electric atmosphere. Now, while he's riding high on his college team's victory, the mood shifts as he reflects on the Raiders' recent tough losses. It's clear Crosby has a lot on his mind. He praises the defense for their focus, even when the offense has struggled. He knows that when one side of the ball is having a rough time, the other has to step up. But let's be real, he's frustrated with those self-inflicted mistakes that seem to pop up every week. Who wouldn't be? In his words, the defense has been doing their job, but they need that support from the offense. And hey, credit where it's due. He tipped his hat to Rams head coach Sean McVay, calling him a top 5 coach in the league. That's some serious respect right there. But even with the losses weighing heavy, Crosby's mindset is all about improvement. With a big game against the Kansas City Chiefs on the horizon, he's got his eyes set on the prize. He talks about the need to limit those mistakes, play better complementary football, and really finish strong as they head into the bye week. His energy is infectious. You can't help but feel optimistic when he talks about the potential. This team has Maxx Crosby also opens up about the pressure of being a key player for the Raiders, especially when you think about the high-profile trades that have gone down in recent years, like Khalil Mack and Darren Waller. But instead of shying away from that pressure, he embraces it. "I thrive in chaos," he says, and you know what? That's the mentality of a champion. Now, he has to deal with all that outside noise, including trade rumors and media speculation. He shared a funny story about a fake tweet that claimed he had a meltdown at the team's facility. The concern it caused among the team's upper management? Pure comedy. Here's a guy just going about his day, and meanwhile, the internet is spinning wild tales about him. Crosby laughed it off, showcasing his ability to stay grounded, despite the chaos that social media can bring. Speaking of social media, he also addresses the absurdity of being portrayed in different team jerseys by fans and media. Like, come on, people. It's one thing to discuss potential trades, but it's another to create a whole narrative that he's not on board with. He emphasizes that he's focused on winning and improving on the field, and having a platform like The Rush allows him to communicate directly with fans. No filters, no distortions, just the truth, straight from him. Crosby then dives into the recent news about Tom Brady becoming a minority owner of the Raiders. You could feel the excitement in his voice. He sees this as a game-changing move for the organization, bringing in that winning mindset that Brady is famous for. It's clear he has a personal connection to Brady, expressing how much he admires him and how he aspires to be part owner of the Raiders one day himself. He even speculates on why Brady might have chosen the Raiders over other teams, touching on the franchise's rich history and the allure of Las Vegas. And about Brady's involvement, Crosby expects him to be hands-on with decisions about the team, especially in the draft and trades. Can you imagine having TB12 giving input on your roster moves? That's a dream come true. But let's not forget the heartwarming part of Crosby's podcast, where he addresses the recent trade of Davante Adams to the New York Jets. He calls Adams his close friend and twin, which is just adorable. You can hear the genuine support in his voice as he wishes Adams the best in his new chapter alongside Aaron Rodgers. No hard feelings here, just two friends rooting for each other, no matter where life takes them. As the conversation wraps up, Crosby reflects on the trade speculation surrounding him. It's been a whirlwind since last season, and he describes it as feeling like a movement. Through it all, he reassures his teammates and fans of his commitment to the Raiders. It's wild to think that he often finds himself needing to clarify that he's not going anywhere. Despite the media frenzy, he admits it can be frustrating, but at the end of the day, his loyalty to the Raiders is unwavering. He keeps his eyes on the prize, winning championships and pushing through the noise. One thing that stood out is Crosby's emphasis on teamwork and resilience. He shares a moment from halftime when interim head coach Antonio Pierce urged the team to stay positive despite the setbacks. That's the kind of leadership you need in tough situations. Crosby praises his teammates for not giving up and recognizes the strong performances from younger players like Duran Bennett and Isaiah Palomo, as well as veteran Adam Butler. It's all about building that camaraderie and trusting each other to rise up when it matters most. He wraps up the podcast on a lighter note, joking about his achievement of being third all-time in sacks for the Raiders. He likens it to climbing the Billboard charts, and you can just picture him celebrating that milestone. He and his TO hosts even get into a fun debate about music, with Crosby declaring Future as his top artist. While he acknowledges Drake's impact, he playfully nudges him to release more music to stay relevant. And there you have it, folks. Maxx Crosby's blend of passion, humor, and determination really shines through in his latest episode. He's not just a player, he's a leader and a role model for so many, and it's exciting to think about what's next for him and the Raiders. So, Raiders Nation, what do you think about Maxx Crosby's comments? Are you as relieved as I am that he's committed to staying in Las Vegas? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe for more Raiders content, and ring that notification bell so you never miss an update. Until next time, stay strong, stay loyal, and as always, go Raiders.